All right, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today? It's your boy Craig Keon. We back again with another episode of But What Do I Know? Today I wanted to talk about Judas and the Black Messiah. It's a film about Fred Hampton and also about William O'Neill, who's an FBI informant who ended up, basically dropping a dime on what they were doing in their movement and helped the government assassinate Fred Hampton. That's blunt. I know that's putting it bluntly, but that's pretty much what happened. And it's just a film, kind of about that, and going in detail, and kind of making the world more aware of who Fred Hampton was. One thing I realized quick growing up is people try really hard to put the Black Panther Party in like the same box as the KKK. Like, oh, this is the black version of the KKK, and that's not what they were about at all. So it was good to see, that story finally being told, and that being able to show in the light of what, kind of what the Black Panther Party movement was about, and the truth of why they were afraid of this young man and what he was capable of. I know I say young man because he old enough to be my dad, if not my grandfather. But what I'm trying to say is that he was only 21 years of age when they killed him, and kind of what I was thinking about as I was watching the film is like, what was I thinking about at 21? What did I care about at 21? And it's the sacrifices that these individuals made during their lifetime that allowed me at 21 to be thinking about being in college, turning up or something. You know what I'm saying? Like my mindset was shifted differently, not because there's no issues going on today, but they're not as in our face and I feel like as prevalent as they were, back in those times where, because of the lack of social media and the internet and the ability to like pick up your phone and start recording, like, hold on, what the hell are they doing? It kind of, empowered law enforcement and these government entities to kind of get away with a lot of bullshit and do whatever the hell they wanted to. A big part of that movie though that I did not know about, that like I was shown light on, and I kind of was looking into it a little bit more because it was like the first time I had ever heard of it, was the Rainbow Coalition, which is a movement that was started between Fred Hampton, and then he got with two other groups. Basically, one group, matter of fact, let me look it up because I hate not being able to tell y'all. But one group called the Young Patriots Organization, and then another group called the Young Lords. Young Patriots was really, kind of focused on, white, rural, young individuals, kind of moving from rural towns, trying to move into the inner city of Chicago, and, them dealing with discrimination. And then also the Young Lords, which was like a Hispanic-based group, and they worried about racism and discrimination too as well. And overall, the whole premise of the group was to have the rural, white, low-income individuals, the Hispanic community, and then also the Black community, basically forming this coalition to fight off poverty, corruption, police brutality, things like that were kind of like, a burden on each of their neighborhoods. And they actually, had the foresight and was able to sit down at the table and say, I feel like we can get a lot more done if we hold hands and fight because we got a common cause right now. So I thought that was pretty dope because if anybody been watching this and me talking, it's a lot of invisible lines and stuff that we try to like hang our hat on. And I like the way I look at it, from a retrospect, is really like the 1%, the elitists, the military industrial complex. It's that group, small group, versus the rest of us, and we get thrown bullshit for us to bitter and fight and be upset about, when really it's all about classism and the haves and the have-nots. And I feel like, seeing that just is, this is like in 1969, but just being able to see that and see, they put their differences aside as far as like skin color and ethnicity and cultural background. And, it was like, yo, we have a common fight in this, because we all dealing with the bullshit from the police. We all dealing with poverty and not having the same opportunities in our communities and corruption and substantial housing too as well. So we weren't the only people being affected by those things. So to see us all come together and sit at the table and be like, no, we can get this done together, because at the end of the day, if any one of us is suffering, if any one of us is being discriminated against, if any one of us is dealing with racism or anything, then we're all losing. Like, even if black people, get everything they want and it's another group that's not being treated fairly, like it's still work to be done. We can't hang our hat on just kind of being so centralized into our individual desires. So I thought that was super dope, super cool to see. Like I said, it was something I had not known about, and I was educated watching that movie, and definitely being able to see it. But yeah, I'm not going to do like a full movie review for real, but I did just kind of want to talk about that, just making sure, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely make sure you check it out. Shout out my boy Travis. He definitely hooked me up with the HBO Max login, so I can definitely tune in and see it, because I already got a million other streaming services that I'm in tune with. So I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, if you've seen a movie with some of the things that kind of stuck out to you, with some things that you saw that you didn't really necessarily know about before, whether it be about Fred Hampton or any of the surrounding individuals and things like that. But yeah, overall, man, Judas and the Black Messiah, definitely a 10 out of 10. I really thought that movie was pretty dope. And during Black History Month, those stories of our black leaders being told by us, that's important to me, and like I said, the narrative around what the Black Panther Party was about versus what we know it was about, because it's one thing what you see on mass media and what we know as black individuals, being able to really understand what's going on at the field front. So a lot of, like I said, like we talking about 1969, like a lot of everything we going through today is not new. It's a continuation of what's been perpetrated throughout the history of America. Like I was saying earlier, the fact that we can pick up our cell phone, our tablets or whatever, and record, and or just even hopping on our social media without any video, but just being able to tweet and talk about it. Like, it's just basically giving everybody a platform, a voice. And when a majority of those voices come together, whether it's actually out in the field and doing protests and things like that, or we use our social media to make an influence and an impact, those are things that has changed from now until then, that we can kind of see a movement continue to go, and there's still people out here fighting for. We got a lot of work to be done, so there's still people out here fighting that good fight. But yeah, man, I won't hold y'all too long. I just wanted to give my piece on that real quick. But like I said, it's on HBO Max, and it's in theaters too as well, which I'm actually thinking about going down the street and rewatching it on one of my off days, just so I can make sure I support the movie, because we got to make sure we support these black films, because there's always this stigma about what a predominantly black cast can do in that mainstream media, or the theatrical releases on a worldwide or even a national scale, man. So definitely let me know what you think in the comments about the movie. If you have seen it, try to make this as spoiler free as possible, which I haven't talked too much about the movie, although it's based on real life action. So if you know any of the history behind it, you pretty much get a little bit of premise on what's going on already. But like I said, man, it's a good film, and you should definitely check it out regardless. But with no further ado, it's your boy Craig Keon, and I am out. Go.